So, Marlene, I'm going to start with you. When can we actually see minutes 5, minute 6, minute 7, everything that comes after those first 4?
Well, we're happy to say we're premiering on January 12th.
Wow. Very exciting. Is there any other dates you wanted to perhaps announce on this panel?
The special episode? When is that airing?
November 24th. 24th or 4th? November 24th.
November 24th, there's a very special episode. It's called Flash Forward. Flash Forward. And it's a really fantastic behind-the-scenes look at how we jumped over 5 years and some of what happened off-screen during those 5 years to these characters.
Amazing. Well, let me continue on that tip. What excited you? I mean, where did the idea for this 5-year time jump come from, Marlene?
Probably the girls. I think they were really ready to play their own ages, and it felt like we could no longer close to their own ages. And I mean, if you've noticed, they haven't been sitting at a desk for seasons on the show because it got to the point where it just didn't look right anymore. So I think it was a really group consensus that it was time to really age up the show, bring it, I think it's a little edgier and definitely more mature.
Well, speaking of new looks, Troyan, you got some bangs now. Spencer has bangs. Talk a little bit about making Spencer 5 years older and what was cool for you about getting to do that.
I mean, yeah, it was definitely a very funny thing where everybody was like, you can do whatever with your hair. And I'm like, okay, I don't even know what that would be. Like what? Like I'm going to go like bright red or something? Like, no, it's Spencer. So I had to put my dreams of lavender hair away for another season. And mostly it was very exciting because I feel like, you know, Spencer's an incredibly intelligent character and she hasn't gotten to realize her full potential. Thank you. So to have her in the flash forward be so successful in her career and get to be in a completely different world, a political world, was very exciting for me because I was so ready to take on Spencer to another level. So I was very excited.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
Lucy, what about you? I mean, we see Aria maybe not with Ezra now. She's looking longingly at book covers. Where do we find Aria?
I know,
when we
that's
come
why
back?
I love that preview. I haven't seen it because it sort of leaves it up to you guys to decide like where they're at in their relationship. But sort of where we left off, what was the last scene of the pilot? We all say goodbye. We all go to college, and so I was excited to see what Aria was going to pursue because I always thought, you know, she loves photography. I always thought she was going to end up in that world, but she actually takes a left turn and falls in love with writing, and she becomes a publisher. And so that's sort of, you'll find out later why she was like looking at Ezra on the back of a book. So as of now, I don't really know if I can say like where they're at, like status-wise, but you know, I think they'll always be in each other's lives, and it's complicated, yeah. So you got it, you understand.
Ashley, I think Hannah just about killed everyone in this room when they thought there was the potential for a Halo baby on a plane. I mean, that was just super mean of the writers. I'm just going to put it out there. Actually, when you read that script and sort of saw where Hannah was now, what excited you about her 5 years later?
Well, she got into fashion, which is really cool. She moved to New York. I was actually really upset because, can I say? I can say.
It comes out, no, it comes out in the special.
She's legally bound.
It comes out in the special.
I wish I could tell
You have to
guys.
watch the special.
No, but I mean, Hannah's super fun. She traveled the world. She, that's so funny. I can't. I want to tell you. But yeah, I wish that was my baby on the plane because it was so cute. But yeah, she's traveling the world. She's working in fashion, and it's like Devil Wears Prada, you know?
Pageant.
More pageants. She entered in every pageant and lost every single one, so she's not doing something right. And Shay helped me out.
There you go. Well, Shay, we see Emily potentially leading an island life, you know, liking pina coladas, getting caught in the rain, things like that.
I mean, pina coladas, right?
Emily does go. She moves away too. And I think out of all the girls, her time away is probably the hardest than all of them. She goes through some things during those 5 years. But I mean, just like all the girls, they stay strong despite what they've been through. And yeah, then they all come back to Rosewood after somebody asks them to.
Yes, speaking of Sasha. So, Allie is a teacher at seemingly Rosewood High. She asked them to come back. Talk a little bit about, what that means for Pretty Little Liars, Allie sort of getting everyone to return.
Well, I think it's actually just really ironic that she's a teacher in the same classroom that Ezra was teaching in. I think she loves these girls, and they're just such a big part of her life. So I think it's kind of surreal that they're not there. But also, Charlotte is there. And so I think she's rebuilding her family, what's left of it. I love her story. I was surprised that I was going to be a teacher. I was kind of thrown off guard. I wasn't sure where she was going, but I didn't think it was going to be a teacher. But
She's never done homework.
the more I played her as a teacher, the more I got it. And I think it's very special, and I think you guys are going to love it. It's really fun to reinvent our characters for us just to play it, but I think you guys are going to like it too. Actually, the nice thing is that there's a lot of people who start watching Pretty Little Liars and have to binge watch it from the beginning, which we love, don't get us wrong. But you're going to be able to watch this, and it's a totally different show in the best way. So now you can watch our flash forward and not really have to worry about everything that happened. We're telling a new story, and we're bringing you back in with new secrets and new lies. Yeah. So I think
Good
you guys.
tagline, Sasha.
Oh, thanks.
And also, Sasha, I have to say welcome to the opening credits.
Thank you.
What was one of the plot twists that really surprised you?
I don't. That's hard because there are so many. Thanks a lot. I mean, I think Charlotte was the biggest for me. That was a complete shock. That threw me totally off guard. I think at the beginning, I don't know. I think actually no. I think Spencer being A was the biggest one for me.
Spencer was
For a
A?
second. She was pretend A.
We were asleep for those episodes.
Yeah, I was sleeping.
I was pretend
I was
A.
making out with Ezra in his apartment. Like, all the time. We have like a running joke that like Arya's always missing in action. Just, like, and they get mad because they have to do the night shoots, and I sort of like.
We
get
always
out
have
of
to do
that.
night shoots,
Always
and
like
and
eating
I-
whipped cream off of Ezra's
But anyways,
fork
I'm gonna
or
keep talking.
something.
Yeah. I think I feel short too. Don't worry about it. I feel your pain. I think when I don't know if it was the most shocking, but I liked when they made Ezra bad because he was sort of too good to be true. So that's mine. I made him bad.
The most shocking. For any of you guys who don't know, I've said this in a lot of interviews. I kind of make it my point to like bug the writers a lot so that I'm not surprised by anything because I really like to be in the know and know what's coming up. So oftentimes I get to have the very special position of being in the table reads when everybody else gets surprised, and I'm like, yeah. But I would say that to go off of the Ezra being bad, the whole time I was like, really? Is he going to be bad? And so the biggest surprise for me was actually Ezra's whole history preceding Arya with Allie. That's what those interactions that they had that kind of, he was fascinated with her, and then when she went away, that led to him writing the book. So that whole backstory to me was really surprising.
I'd say I don't know, for me, there's too many events because you guys always make it so crazy and wonderful. But for Emily, I would have to say the whole Sarah Harvey thing because I think she really enjoyed that knockout, and I really enjoyed doing that. So that, for me, was really fun. But, yeah.
Did you see yourself, like, how they have you in the flash forward? Did you see your character being where they were, or did you see them somewhere different?
Absolutely. I mean, for me, I definitely, well, I can't say, what am I saying? Okay, she, like, moves what? What? Okay. She moves west, so like Emily moves west. She goes to Pepperdine. Oh, okay. I didn't know I was allowed to say that. She goes to Pepperdine. Pepperdine. And she, yes. And I did picture that for Emily. We always spoke about her wanting to go to California. I mean, Paige left and went to California, so that could be maybe a little reason. But I did see Emily going in the direction that you guys wrote for her even before you told me. So good job.
Thank you. Clairvoyant.
Yeah, I definitely saw Hannah going to New York, period. So I wasn't surprised. But also she like traveled the world.
I think you told us Hannah has to move.
I actually told them Hannah has to move to New York and I'm only shooting my scenes in New York. So figure a way out to put me in Warner Brothers, but I'm going to be in New York. So season 7, I'll be here. They'll be there.
Figure it out.
Figure it out, Marlene.
Figure it out.
What about for the rest of you? Surprised? Feel good about where the characters are 5 years from now?
I'll go. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think all the characters, they've always been sort of like old souls and it's really mature for, their age. I always laughed at, I don't know where I was going with that, so I'll answer the question. I was like totally veering off in a different direction. No, I mean, I think Aria's always known what she wanted to do. She's always been very creative. I mean, there's a few twists that happened throughout the season, like involving her personal life that I was like, oh, okay, well, this is a little different than what I thought. But as far as like her career, I'm happy with what she's doing.
Yeah, I mean, likewise. I really like Allison's her storyline, and like I said before, that her being a teacher was different, but I like it. I like the direction for sure. So it wasn't exactly what I thought it was going to be, but they worked their magic.
There's actually a clip that you guys haven't seen yet, but it's in the special episode that airs November 24th. And we get to see Allison teaching, and I just got to watch it the other day, and she's such an inspired teacher. Like, she becomes the teacher you always wanted, which I really love about that character.
She's got a great resume.
Besides Charlotte being A, who would you have wished would have been A?
I think all of us.
Yeah.
I think it would have been just some sick, twisted, awful, amazing ending if we all were just doing this to each other behind each other's backs. And like in the darkness, pretending to be other people. I think that would have been, I mean, truthfully, in the level of messed upness, I'm going to use the polite word, this show inhabits, I think we could get away with it. Yeah.
My question is for Shay and for Sasha. Emerson, when is that going to happen? What can you say about the future? The future.
Hi, babe.
Hey, babe.
You go first.
I mean, I think our relationship is always going to be there no matter what happens. I think they have such a special bond. They've had it from the moment that you guys were introduced to them, and they will forever have it, I think.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And Marlene has said that too, that they will always have a special relationship. It's a great way of describing it. I think what's special about them too is that they've grown up together, and so they have found that place too. And Emily obviously has, and then I think Allison was also trying to figure her feelings out as well. As much she might have been manipulating for a while, Emily's feelings, but I think there's definitely something there. It's a deep connection and a deep friendship, and they will always have a love for each other. We can't say exactly what's going to happen with them as usual, but Marlene always has very special things when it comes to Emerson, and she really takes care of the relationship, I promise.
Thank you, Sasha. I love you.
Love you too.